You open your eyes, and the light coming through the window is, well, it's just entirely too bright.
Oh yeah, always way too bright.
Right. And the alarm clock next to your ear is absolutely screaming at you. You have exactly 30 minutes to leave the house.
Which is never enough time.
Never enough time. Your brain hasn't even turned on yet. You're completely in a fog. So here is a question for you, the listener. How do you explain this exact specific feeling in English?
That is, it's a brilliant question.
Hmm.
And it really highlights a major gap in how we usually learn languages.
Yeah, because we don't start with the basics, do we?
No, we don't. When we study a new language, we're often pushed immediately toward, like, very big, complex topics.
Right, like international business vocabulary.
Exactly. Or booking a hotel or debating politics. But we so frequently forget the foundational everyday language. We just lack the words to describe the very first messy hours of our own day.
And I mean, the words we do learn from textbooks, they often sound like robots talking.
They really do.
Like a textbook will tell you to wake up and immediately declare, "Good morning, I am fine, thank you, and you."
Which nobody says when they first wake up.
Right. In reality, you're lying in bed thinking, "Ooh, please, no." So today, our entire deep dive is dedicated to fixing that gap.
Yeah, we've got some great source material today. It's a complete educational breakdown of morning expressions.
Yes, and we're going to explore this as a masterclass in everyday practical English, the natural expressions that native speakers actually use.
From the exact second that alarm starts ringing.
All the way until you are, running out your front door in an absolute panic.
So our mission today for this deep dive is very specific. We want to equip you with simple, authentic English phrases for your morning routine.
Whether you're speaking to a roommate, a family member, or just thinking to yourself, we want you to sound natural.
And because this conversation is specifically designed to help you learn and to help you feel comfortable, we are going to really pace ourselves today.
Yeah, we are not in a rush. We're going to slow things down.
We will practice pronunciation together, step by step.
And we'll uncover the subtle, hidden meanings behind these simple sentences. Because, well, morning routines can be incredibly stressful in real life.
Oh, absolutely. We're rushing to find our keys. We're drinking coffee way too fast.
Right, worrying about traffic. But learning the English to describe your morning, that should be a completely relaxed experience.
It really should.
So wherever you are listening right now, just take a deep breath. Let's create a welcoming, calm atmosphere. We're going to unpack this step by step, starting at the very beginning.
The initial awakening.
Yes, your eyes open, you stretch. Now, the textbook answer for the very first thing we say is, naturally, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. It's the classic greeting. It's polite, it's safe,
Right.
and it is universally understood anywhere in the English-speaking world. But what is truly fascinating is the variation we use in real everyday life.
Oh, definitely.
We have the standard good morning, but native speakers very frequently use a much more casual version. They just drop the first word entirely.
And they simply say, morning.
Yes, just morning.
I'm going to say that very slowly and clearly. Morning. Just that one single word. Listener, try saying it out loud with me. Morning.
It sounds so much more relaxed, doesn't it?
It really does. It takes all the pressure off.
And understanding the social difference between those two greetings is, well, it's a huge step in mastering conversational English.
So let's break down those boundaries. Good morning is your standard polite greeting.
Right, it maintains a respectful distance.
This is exactly what you say to your manager when you walk into the corporate office.
Or what you say to the barista at the coffee shop who is making your drink.
Yeah, it acknowledges the other person, but it keeps a professional boundary. But let's imagine a totally different scenario.
Okay, set the scene.
I walk into my kitchen. My family is sitting there at the table wearing their pajamas. Maybe they're eating toast. If I stand in the doorway and loudly announce, "Good morning, everyone," it feels incredibly stiff.
Yeah, it feels like you're about to give a business presentation to your family.
Exactly. It creates a weird formal distance that just shouldn't exist in a kitchen.
And that is exactly where the casual morning comes in.
Right.
It's bright, it's fast, and it signals intimacy. You use this with your family, with your closest friends.
Or with roommates you know very well.
Yeah. But what if you were walking into a slightly larger setting?
Like, let's say you're a teacher walking into a classroom full of students.
Or logging onto a video call with 5 or 6 of your coworkers? What's the most natural way to address the whole group?
The standard inclusive phrase here is, "Good morning, everyone."
Yes. Let's practice that slowly. Good morning, everyone.
By adding everyone to the end, you are making sure no one feels left out.
You aren't just greeting the first person you see, you know. You're casting a wide net of politeness over the entire room.
Okay, so those are the polite, socially acceptable things we say to other people.
Right.
But let's look at the honest things we say to ourselves. Or to the people we live with.
Because textbooks are obsessed with making us polite.
They really are. But real life is messy. When I wake up, my honest reaction is very rarely, I am fine.
No, almost never.
Most days, my honest reaction is, I am sleepy.
And that is the beauty of everyday language. It embraces reality.
It does.
The phrases we actually use when we are struggling to open our eyes are much more vulnerable. Phrases like, I'm sleepy, I'm still tired, and I didn't sleep well.
I just love this vocabulary. I feel like learning these honest phrases is like taking off a stiff, formal business suit and finally putting on a comfortable pair of sweatpants.
That is a great analogy. It just feels better to tell the truth.
So let's practice the pronunciation of these because the vowel sounds are really important. Listener, I want you to repeat these after me. I'm going to say it very slowly. I am sleepy.
Notice how the word sleepy feels when you say it. Sleepy.
Yeah, sleepy.
It has a long E sound in the middle and another long E sound at the end. You actually have to stretch your mouth into a slight smile to make that sound.
That's right. You kind of smile when you say it. Sleepy.
The word itself almost sounds like a yawn.
It really does. Let's try the next phrase. I will say it slowly. I am still tired.
Let's analyze the grammar of that sentence for a moment.
Yeah.
Because the word still is doing a tremendous amount of work here.
How so?
Well, if you just say, I am tired, it's a simple statement of your current condition.
Right.
But adding still tells a story. It means the tiredness originated in the past.
Oh, like maybe from a long day yesterday.
Exactly. Or a bad night in the middle of the night. And that exhaustion hasn't gone away. It has continued right into the present moment. I am still tired.
That makes perfect sense. It's an ongoing state.
Yeah.
And here's the third phrase, which is a bit longer, but incredibly common. I will say it clearly. I didn't sleep well.
Let's look at the mechanics of this one. I didn't sleep well. Didn't is the contraction for did not.
Right.
And what does this phrase actually imply? If someone says this to you, it doesn't necessarily mean they stayed awake for 24 hours straight.
No, it usually means the quality of the sleep was poor. Like, I could be in my bed for 9 solid hours, but maybe a car alarm went off outside my window at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, or maybe you had a stressful dream about failing a math test.
Or my dog kept jumping on my legs. I technically slept, but I did not sleep well.
Right. It is a very natural, universally understood explanation for why you might look a bit disorganized.
Or why you might need an extra cup of strong coffee.
But, you know, we shouldn't only focus on the rough mornings. Sometimes the universe aligns and you have a fantastic night.
Oh, the best feeling. What are the natural phrases for a good morning?
Well, then we get to use the happy vocabulary. You wake up, you stretch, and you say, I slept well.
Or, I feel great.
Or, my personal favorite, I'm well rested.
Well rested. Let's break that word down.
It's a compound adjective. Well, hyphen, rested.
It essentially means your biological batteries are fully charged.
Yes, you have received the optimal amount of rest. Let's say it slowly. I am well rested.
It just sounds calming, doesn't it?
It really does.
But let's be entirely honest with ourselves. Whether you are gloriously well rested or whether you are still tired and sleepy.
Eventually, you have to face the machine.
Yes, the little machine sitting on your bedside table that dictates your life.
Ah, yes, the inevitable alarm clock.
The ultimate enemy of sleep. Which brings us to the next phase of our morning journey from our source notes, the daily battle with the clock.
Let's look at the core phrases native speakers use to describe this battle.
The very first phrase is just a statement of fact. My alarm is ringing.
I will say that slowly. My alarm is ringing. Notice the ing on the end of ring.
Ah, yes.
This is the present continuous tense, which is a grammatical concept we are going to explore deeply today. It means the action is happening right now in this exact present moment.
The sound is filling the room.
Right.
And because that terrible sound is filling the room, it forces you to acknowledge a new reality. We use a phrase of action. Time to get up.
Yes, time to get up. I will say it slowly. Time to get up. In proper formal grammar, the full sentence would actually be, it is time to get up.
But in the morning, we are way too tired for extra words.
Exactly. Native speakers just drop the, it is to make the phrase faster and more conversational, time to get up.
But right after you think, time to get up, Your brain usually generates the most honest, deeply human phrase of the entire day.
Oh, I know the one.
Let's say it slowly. I don't want to get up.
It's a universal emotion. It transcends borders and cultures.
No matter where you live on the planet, everyone understands the deep desire behind, I don't want to get up.
And because humanity collectively agrees that getting up is awful, we invented a brilliant piece of technology to delay the pain.
The snooze button. Let's talk about the concept of snooze.
Well, the word snooze as a noun actually means a very short, light sleep, like a nap in a chair.
Right.
But in the context of modern mornings, snooze has become a very specific cultural action. It refers to hitting the button on your phone or your digital clock that temporarily silences the alarm.
Usually gives you exactly 9 minutes of silence before it starts screaming at you again.
And the verb we pair with this action is very specific. We say, I hit snooze.
Yeah, we don't say, I pushed the snooze button.
No.
We don't say, I engaged the snooze feature. We use the verb hit. I hit snooze. Why do we use such an aggressive verb?
Because it is usually an aggressive, desperate action.
That's true.
When that alarm goes off, you aren't gently and thoughtfully pressing a button. You are usually reaching out blindly in the dark, slapping your hand against your phone to make the awful noise stop.
Right.
Using the verb hit captures the emotion and the sudden movement perfectly. I hit snooze.
I definitely hit it. Sometimes I slam it, and after you hit snooze, you roll over, you pull the heavy blankets back up over your shoulders.
And you whisper the classic phrase to yourself.
Let's say it really slowly. Just 5 more minutes.
Just 5 more minutes. This is a fascinating piece of language because it reveals how we negotiate with ourselves.
Yeah, if you think about the literal meaning, it makes absolutely no sense.
Not at all. The snooze button usually gives you 9 minutes, not 5.
And nobody actually sets a literal stopwatch for exactly 300 seconds.
Exactly. It is not a mathematical measurement of time. Just 5 more minutes is an emotional plea.
An emotional plea, I like.
You are negotiating with the universe or, with your own sense of responsibility. You are begging for a tiny sliver of comfort before the hard work of the day begins.
And the word just is the key to the whole sentence, isn't it?
Why is this so important?
Well, because just minimizes the request. It makes it sound reasonable.
Right.
You are telling yourself, I am not asking for a whole hour. I am not being lazy. I am just asking for 5 tiny minutes.
It is exactly how we justify staying in bed to our own conscience.
That is a brilliant psychological breakdown of such a simple sentence.
Thank you.
Let's bring this scenario to life for the listener. Let's do a role play so you can hear how these phrases sound in sequence with the proper emotion.
I love a good role play.
I am going to play the role of the annoying alarm clock, and you play the person who is desperately trying to sleep.
All right. I'm closing my eyes. I am in my imaginary bed. I am deeply asleep. Go ahead.
Beep, 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 beep.
Oh no, my alarm is ringing. Time to get up. But I don't want to get up. I hit snooze. Just 5 more minutes.
You sounded perfectly miserable. That was excellent.
It wasn't hard to act, honestly.
And listener, I want you to notice the rhythm of the sentences our expert just used. They were short. They were choppy.
Yeah, my alarm is ringing. Time to get up. I hit snooze.
When we are half awake, our brains literally cannot process complex grammar. We rely on the simplest, most direct sentences possible.
We strip the language down to its bare essentials. Subject, verb, object. That is all you need.
All right, so we have successfully negotiated for our 5 extra minutes, but inevitably, the alarm rings again.
We finally surrendered to reality.
We throw the blankets off and we put our feet on the cold floor. Where is the very first place we go?
We go to the bathroom.
This is where the physical preparation for the day begins. Getting ready.
And linguistically, the bathroom is absolutely packed with useful, everyday action verbs.
Let's look at the source material for this. These are the routines we all perform to prepare our bodies to face the outside world. Let's review the core vocabulary.
First, we have the phrase of biological necessity. I'll say it slowly. I need to use the bathroom.
Or if you're already walking there, I'm going to the bathroom.
Then we transition to the hygiene actions. I will pronounce these very clearly. I'm brushing my teeth, I'm washing my face, I'm taking a shower.
And finally, the appearance actions. Let's say them slowly. I'm combing my hair, I'm drying my hair, I'm getting dressed.
Now, listener, I want you to look very closely at the pattern in all of those verbs.
Yes, there's a definite pattern.
Brushing, washing, taking, combing, drying, getting. They all end in the exact same 3 letters.
ING, the famous ING ending.
Yes. You mentioned this earlier. This is the present continuous tense.
I know grammar terms can sound intimidating, but why is this specific tense so crucial for a language learner to master for their morning routine?
Because the morning routine is a series of immediate, ongoing actions. The present continuous tense, which is formed by saying I am and adding ing to the verb, is used specifically for an action that is happening right now.
Like in the exact moment you are speaking.
Precisely.
Let me see if I can create an analogy for this. Tell me if this works.
Okay, let's hear it.
I like to think of the ing tense like a spotlight on a dark stage.
A spotlight.
Yeah. If I say the sentence, I brush my teeth, that is the simple present tense. It's like turning on all the lights in the theater. It just means, in general, I'm a person who brushes my teeth every day.
Right, it's a fact about your life.
Exactly. But if I say I'm brushing my teeth, it's like a tight spotlight shining right on me right in this exact second with the toothbrush in my mouth.
That is a wonderful metaphor. The ing tense is the spotlight. Imagine you are in the bathroom. The door is locked.
Right.
Your roommate knocks on the door and yells, "What are you doing in there?" You would not answer, "I brush my teeth."
No, because they don't care about your general life habits.
Exactly. They want to know what is happening in the spotlight right now that is preventing them from using the sink. So you answer, "I am brushing my teeth." You are in the middle of the action.
It's active. It's immediate. Now let's unpack a very specific phrase from this list that often confuses learners.
Okay, which one?
We have two options for putting clothes on our bodies. We can say, I'm getting dressed, or we can say, I'm putting on my clothes.
Right, both are common.
Now I want to deduce the difference here. Putting on my clothes sounds very mechanical.
How do you mean?
Like I am picking up a shirt and I am physically placing the fabric over my arms. It's a literal description of the physical mechanics.
Yes, that is exactly right.
But getting dressed feels bigger. It feels like the entire concept of transitioning from pajamas to daytime wear.
It really does.
It includes choosing the outfit, buttoning the buttons, checking the mirror. It's the whole process. So while both are technically correct, is getting dressed the more natural phrase?
You have deduced it perfectly. Putting on my clothes is grammatically flawless, but native speakers overwhelmingly use getting dressed to describe the morning routine.
Getting dressed.
Yes, dressed acts almost like a state of being you are trying to achieve. You are getting to that state. I would strongly advise learners to practice "I'm getting dressed" as their primary phrase.
I am getting dressed. Good tip. So we are washing our faces, we are brushing our teeth, we are getting dressed.
The routine is moving along.
But let's go back to that snooze button for a second. Let's say we hit the snooze button 3 times instead of 1.
Oh, disaster.
Suddenly the relaxing morning is gone. We introduce a feeling of panic. We need the vocabulary for when we are behind schedule.
The dreaded adrenaline rush of the morning.
When the panic sets in, the phrases become very short and very sharp.
Yes, they do.
The most basic one is a sudden realization. I'm late.
I'm late. You say it with stress. I'm late.
And if the reason you are late is because someone else in your house is taking too long in the bathroom, you use a direct command. Hurry up. Let's say that slowly for the pronunciation. Hurry up.
To hurry means to move fast, so hurry up means increase your speed immediately.
But the absolute most interesting and most commonly used phrase in this category is an idiom. The phrase is, I'm running late.
I'm running late. I love this phrase because it paints such a vivid picture.
But let's clarify the imagery for the listener because it can be confusing.
Sure.
If I call you and say, I'm running late, does that mean I am literally jogging down the sidewalk with my briefcase?
No, not at all. You might be sitting in your car, completely stopped in traffic, not moving an inch.
Or you might still be standing perfectly still in your bathroom.
Exactly. But you still say, I'm running late.
So if my body isn't running, what is running?
The time is running. The schedule is running away from you.
Ah, I see.
The phrase creates this mental image of a race against the clock, and the clock is winning. Lateness has become your ongoing condition. It is a brilliant piece of language because it acts as a warning system.
How so? A warning system.
Well, if you say, I am late, it usually implies you have already missed the deadline.
Right, like the meeting started at 9, it is 9:05, you are late.
Exactly. But running late means you are in the process of becoming late. The meeting is at 9, it is 8:45, and you are still at home.
Oh, so you haven't technically missed the meeting yet, but you know your trajectory is bad.
Right. So you text your boss, I'm running late. It manages their expectations.
It softens the blow. If I say, I'm running late, I am telling them, Please don't expect me at 9 sharp. I am doing my best. I am moving forward, but I will probably arrive at 9:10.
Exactly. It's polite panic.
The light panic. I love that. Okay, so we are clean, we are dressed, and whether we are right on time or running late, the human body requires fuel. We must eat.
Yes, breakfast.
This brings us to the kitchen and a crucial phase of the morning, the breakfast menu. Let's look at what the source material says about habits and food.
For many cultures, this is the anchor of the morning. Let's look at the foundational questions and statements. If you walk into the kitchen and someone else is cooking, you ask, "What's for breakfast?"
I'll say it slowly. What is for breakfast? Notice we use a contraction to make it natural. What's for breakfast?
Then you have to assess your own physical state. You either declare, "I'm hungry," or "I'm not hungry."
Now, if you fall into the I'm not hungry category, or if you simply don't have enough time, there's a fantastic verb we use for what happens next.
Oh, yes.
You say, I skip breakfast. I will repeat that slowly. I skip breakfast.
To skip. Let's analyze this verb because it is incredibly useful for learners to adopt.
Okay, let's do it.
What does it actually mean to skip something in this context?
Well, physically, skipping is like a little jump. Like if you throw a flat stone across a lake, it skips across the surface of the water.
Right, it touches down and then jumps over the water.
So in the morning routine, it means you intentionally jump over the meal. You bypass it entirely.
That is exactly right. It implies an active choice. You don't just forget to eat. You actively decide that eating is not part of your plan.
You skip from getting dressed, straight to leaving the house. I skip breakfast.
Now, for the people who do choose to eat, we need to look at the vocabulary.
Let's read through some of the most common beginner-friendly breakfast words from our notes.
Good idea.
Listener, practice saying these out loud to get the feel of the consonants. I will say them slowly. Eggs, bread, toast, milk, coffee, tea, cereal.
Those are the basic building blocks of a traditional, quick Western breakfast.
But learning the nouns is the easy part, isn't it?
It is. What is truly important for a language learner is understanding the verbs we use to talk about consuming them.
Yes. Okay, this is where I want to pause because I noticed a major linguistic quirk in the source material here that I think confuses a lot of English learners.
Let's hear it.
Let's look at the verbs. If I am preparing the liquid, I say, I'm making coffee. That makes sense.
Totally logical.
If I'm consuming the liquid, I say, I'm drinking tea. Perfect.
Right.
If I am consuming the solid food, I say, I'm eating toast. Completely logical.
Yes.
But when native speakers talk about the eggs or the meal as a whole, they often say, I'm having eggs or I'm having breakfast.
Yes, they do.
But wait, the verb to have means possession.
It does.
I have a car. I have a dog. I have a pair of shoes. I don't eat my car or my shoes.
I hope not.
So why on earth do native speakers use a word that means possession to describe chewing and swallowing food?
That is an excellent deduction, and it points out one of the most common hurdles for English learners.
This is so confusing at first.
You are entirely correct about the literal definition of have, but conversational English is rarely literal. In everyday speech, having is the most natural, common way to talk about consuming a meal or a specific dish.
So if I say I am having eggs, it means the exact same biological thing as I am eating eggs.
It results in the exact same biological thing, yes, but the feeling of the phrase is different. Think of it this way. The verb eating describes the mechanical biological function. It is the act of putting food in your mouth, chewing it, and swallowing it. It is clinical.
Okay, clinical.
But the verb having him outer describes the experience of the meal.
Oh, the experience.
Yes. When you invite a friend to a restaurant, you say, let's have lunch together. You would never say, let's mechanically chew and swallow lunch together.
No, that would sound terrible.
Right. Having turns the food into an event, it sounds softer, more polite, and much more natural.
That is a massive breakthrough for a learner. Eating is the biology, having is the experience, so I can apply this to anything.
You can?
I can say I'm having coffee, I'm having a bowl of cereal, I'm having a sandwich.
Exactly. It acts as a universal verb for meals and drinks.
Let's make this highly interactive for the listener. We are going to share what we eat and then ask them to do the same.
Sounds fun.
So tell me, what do you usually have for breakfast? Notice I use the verb. What do you have?
Well, I am a creature of habit. I usually have a bowl of hot oatmeal and a very large, very strong cup of black tea. What about you?
I am terribly unpredictable. Some days I have scrambled eggs and toast. Other days, if I am running late, I just have a banana and drink my coffee in the car.
Very on the go.
But listener, what about you? I want you to pause and think about your actual life right now. What did you eat this morning? Or what do you usually eat?
Think of the English words.
I want you to construct a simple sentence in your head right now using that great word we just learned. Say it out loud, I usually have, and then name your food.
Connecting the English vocabulary directly to your real daily habits is the absolute best way to cement it in your memory. It makes the language belong to you.
Absolutely. Claim the vocabulary.
Yeah.
Okay, so the food has been consumed, the coffee is in our system. We have been awake for maybe 30 or 40 minutes now. How is the physical body reacting to the morning so far?
It's time to check back in on our internal battery.
Yes, this is the phase of assessing our state of mind, our energy, and our grogginess.
When we first opened our eyes, we used phrases like, "I'm sleepy." Now, we are looking at our state of mind after we have showered, dressed, and eaten.
This is the posture you will take as you prepare to walk out the door and face the world.
We can split this into positive and negative states. Let's start with optimism.
Let's assume the breakfast and the coffee did exactly what they were supposed to do. You feel great. You might look in the mirror and say, I feel good.
Or you might say, "I feel awake," meaning the heavy, pulling sensation of sleep is entirely gone from your muscles.
Or the absolute gold standard of mornings. I have energy today. I'll say it slowly. I have energy today. It means your battery is full. You are ready to tackle complex problems.
But we must be realistic.
Always.
The coffee does not always work. Sometimes the negative feelings are stubborn, and they remain. You might say, "I feel tired," which we analyzed earlier. Or you might say, "I feel lazy."
Lazy is an interesting word. It doesn't necessarily mean you are sleepy, does it?
No, it just means you have zero desire to do physical or mental work. Your motivation is empty.
Right. And then there is a specific word from our source notes that describes the intersection of being tired and being physically clumsy. The word is groggy.
I absolutely love this word.
Let's spell it out and say it slowly. Groggy. I feel groggy. Groggy, groggy.
It's an advanced descriptive word, but it is incredibly useful for learners because it captures a feeling that everyone experiences.
I feel like the word groggy actually sounds exactly like what it means.
What do you mean?
Try saying it. Groggy. It feels heavy in the back of your throat. It sounds slow. It sounds like a large, fuzzy monster stumbling around a cave.
That is a perfect analogy. It has an almost onomatopoeic quality.
Mm-hmm.
When you are groggy, you are not just tired, you are physically uncoordinated.
Right.
Your brain is not processing information at full speed. A groggy person drops their keys on the floor.
Yes, a groggy person puts the cereal box in the refrigerator and the milk in the cupboard.
Exactly. A groggy person bumps their shoulder against the doorframe as they walk.
Yeah.
That is grogginess. It is the lingering physical fog of sleep.
A lingering physical fog. Yes. And if we want to understand why we feel groggy, Everyday English has a wonderful way of explaining it by contrasting two very similar phrases.
This is a brilliant nuance to teach our listeners.
Let's look at the two phrases. The first is, I went to bed late. The second is, I stayed up late.
Okay.
Now, to a beginner, those sound like the exact same thing, but there's a subtle difference, isn't there?
There is a very important subtle difference, and it all comes down to intention and responsibility.
Let's break it down.
Let's look at the first one. I went to bed late. This phrase is entirely neutral. It is simply stating a mathematical fact about the time on the clock.
Right. It just means the physical act of getting into the bed happened at a late hour. Maybe I had to work the late shift at the hospital.
Or maybe your evening train was delayed by a storm and you couldn't get home. It implies circumstance.
Exactly. But I stayed up late is very different.
The verb stayed implies a conscious, active choice. You actively kept yourself awake. You stayed up.
Ah, so you fought against the sleep.
Precisely. You chose to be awake. Maybe you were watching an addictive television show or talking on the phone with a friend.
Or playing a video game until 2 in the morning. You chose the activity over the sleep.
Right.
So there is a social consequence to which phrase you choose.
Yes, there is.
If I am at the office and I am yawning loudly and my coworker asks, "Why are you so tired?"
Yeah.
If I say I went to bed late, they might feel sympathy for me. They might think I had car trouble.
But if you say, "I stayed up late," they know it is entirely your own fault. They know you're probably watching movies.
That is exactly right. Stayed up means you take ownership of your grogginess.
Let's demonstrate this conversational flow with another role play. I am going to ask you how you are feeling, and we will use these phrases in context. Ready?
I am ready. I will be the tired coworker.
Okay, I'll start. Morning. How are you doing today?
Oh, man. Morning. I'm still tired. I feel so groggy.
Oh, no. Why?
Yeah.
Didn't you sleep well?
No, I stayed up late. I started watching a documentary about penguins and I just couldn't turn the television off. It's my own fault.
Perfect. And listener, please notice how completely natural that sounds.
Yeah.
How are you? I'm tired. Why?
Yeah.
I stayed up late.
That is an authentic, real-world English conversation. That is the exact small talk you will hear at a bus stop or waiting for the elevator in an office building every single day.
It is the rhythm of daily life.
Okay, so we are fully dressed, we have had our breakfast, we have assessed our grogginess. Now it is time for the most chaotic, fast-paced part of the morning.
Oh boy.
It is time for the great escape, leaving the home and forgetting things.
As we approach the front door, the pace of the morning accelerates. We need phrases that clearly indicate departure to anyone else in the house.
There are several standard phrases from the source you can use. I need to go. Or specifically stating the destination, I have to go to work, or I have to go to school.
Those are the reliable classics. But there's a casual phrase that I use almost every single day, and I think every learner should know it.
Which one?
The phrase is, I'm heading out.
Mm.
I will say it slowly. I am heading out.
I'm heading out is a wonderfully natural piece of language. It is casual, it is friendly, and it paints a picture of movement.
You use this with your family or roommates as you are physically walking toward the door, maybe putting your coat on.
What does the word heading actually mean in this context? Because my head is attached to my neck.
Right. In this context, heading is used as a verb indicating direction. Think of a ship on the ocean. The direction the ship points is its heading.
Ah, see.
So when you say, I'm heading out, you are saying, my body is currently moving in the direction of the exit.
All right, everyone, I have my coffee. I'm heading out. See you tonight. It feels very energetic.
It does. We also use the phrase, I'm on my way, which is crucial for modern communication.
You don't usually say this to the people in your house, do you?
No, you text it or say it on the phone to the person who's waiting for you at your destination. And then the simplest declaration, I'm leaving now.
But as we established earlier, leaving the house is rarely a smooth, elegant process. Chaos reigns in the morning, and chaos leads to mistakes. We need to introduce our listeners to what I call the panic phrases.
The reality of morning forgetfulness.
We are going to go through these because I promise you every single listener will need them eventually.
The panic phrases. Let's look at the most common one. You are at the door, you reach into your pocket, and it is empty. You say, I forgot my keys.
I will say it slowly. I forgot my keys. Followed very closely by a desperate, frantic question to anyone who will listen. Where's my phone?
Then, checking your bag, the sudden realization of a major problem. I can't find my wallet.
I can't find my wallet. Or stating an absolute necessity because you left it on the kitchen table. I need my bag.
And finally, the classic reminder shouted down the hallway by a parent, a roommate, or a partner. Don't forget your lunch.
I want to make a linguistic observation about these panic phrases. When we look at them, where is my phone? I forgot my keys. I need my bag notice. How incredibly short and punchy these sentences are.
Yeah, they're very direct.
When the human brain is panicked, when we are looking at the clock and realizing we are late, we do not use complex, flowing English grammar. We use simple, direct, almost forceful sentences.
That is a very accurate, very important observation for learners to hear. Urgency strips language down to its absolute bare bones. Noun, verb, object, that is it.
I need my bag.
When you are stressed about missing a train, there is no time for adjectives or complex clauses. You just need the keywords.
Exactly. Let's perform a fast-paced departure roleplay to demonstrate this urgency.
Okay.
I want the listener to hear how fast and choppy the language gets. I will be the person who is ready and waiting at the door, telling you to hurry up. You play the person who is panicking and looking for their things.
I will channel my inner panic. I am running around the living room. Go ahead.
Hey, hurry up. We're going to be late.
I know. I'm running late. Wait, where are my keys?
They're on the table. Let's go.
Okay, got them. Oh no, I forgot my phone. I need my phone.
We don't have time. Time to go.
Found it. Okay, I'm ready. I'm leaving now.
End scene. That is the chaotic soundtrack of millions of households every single morning.
The fast speaking, the short sentences.
But here's the lesson for the listener. If you find yourself in that stressful situation, if you are visiting an English-speaking country and you are late for a tour bus, do not worry about perfect, beautiful grammar.
Just use the simple words. Keys, phone, late.
People will understand your meaning instantly.
Absolutely. The primary goal of language is to convey meaning. In a state of panic, the meaning of where phone is perfectly 100% clear to anyone listening. Perfection is not required.
Very true. All right, take a breath. We have survived the morning.
We made it.
We navigated the alarm, we mastered the bathroom verbs, we had breakfast, we dealt with the panic, and we made it out the door. Now, how do we put all of these individual puzzle pieces together?
How do we take these isolated phrases and use them to tell a coherent story about our life?
This brings us to a vital skill covered in the notes: building your narrative.
This is the turning point for a language learner. Memorizing a list of isolated phrases is a good start, but stringing those phrases together into a flowing chronological paragraph is where true fluency and confidence begin.
You are building a sequence.
And the sequence usually follows a very simple, highly effective pattern. It is chronological. First this happens, then that happens.
The basic structure goes like this. I wake up at, and then the time. I get up, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I have breakfast, I go to work.
It is a straightforward timeline.
Mhm.
But before we practice building this paragraph, I want to pause and highlight a crucial distinction that appears right at the beginning of this sequence.
Oh, this is important.
It is a distinction that many beginners miss. It is the difference between the phrase I wake up and the phrase I get up.
That is a fantastic point to make because in many languages, those might translate to the exact same word. But in English, they are not the same thing at all, are they?
No, they describe two distinct separate events.
Hmm.
Let's break it down. I wake up is a neurological event. Yeah. It happens the exact moment. Your eyes open and your brain transitions from sleeping to being conscious. You are awake. But physically, you are still lying down. You are horizontal. You are still under the blankets.
You are awake, but you are probably still feeling groggy and thinking about hitting snooze.
Precisely. But I get up is a physical action. It means you are moving your body. You swing your legs over the side of the mattress, you put your feet on the floor, and you stand vertically. You physically leave the bed.
So, chronologically speaking, you must wake up before you can get up.
Correct. And they often happen at completely different times. You easily wake up at 6 in the morning because a bird is singing outside.
Right.
But you might lie in bed, looking at your phone, reading the news, for a full 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't actually get up until 6:30.
Understanding that difference and using both verbs adds wonderful detail and maturity to your English narrative.
That is such wonderful context. So let's look at how to tell the full story. We're going to read two examples of a morning narrative. We're going to read them slowly, clearly, and with natural pauses.
We want to act as models for you, the listener. I want you to listen to the rhythm. Listen to how one sentence flows logically into the next to create a picture of a morning. I will read the first example.
Go ahead.
I wake up at 7 o'clock. I get up. I brush my teeth and wash my face. I have toast and coffee. Then I go to work.
It is perfectly clear. It uses simple vocabulary, but it is a complete, grammatically flawless English paragraph. It tells a whole story. I'll read the second example, showing a slightly different routine.
Okay, let's hear it.
I wake up at 6:30. I get up and take a shower. I eat cereal and drink milk. Then I go to school.
Beautiful. Simple, effective, and natural. Now here's the interactive part of our deep dive. We want to invite you, the listener, to do this right now. You can pause the audio if you need to.
Think of your own exact times. Think of your own bathroom habits. Think of what you actually have for breakfast.
And remember the golden rule of building your early narratives. Keep it simple. You do not need to use complex vocabulary to explain that you blend a complicated smoothie with kale, spinach, and protein powder. Just find the simple verbs. I make breakfast. Simple is better.
Try saying 2 or 3 sentences out loud right now, wherever you are. I wake up at, I get up, and eat breakfast.
Speak it into the room. Let your tongue get used to the shape of the English words. Claim this narrative as your own.
Building that personalized narrative is how you take ownership of the vocabulary. It stops being a textbook exercise and starts being your actual life.
It really does. Okay, before we finish our deep dive today, we have one final, incredibly fun section to explore from our source notes.
The bonus phrases.
Yes, these are highly common expressions that native speakers use all the time, but more importantly, they reveal a lot about English-speaking culture.
Language and culture are always deeply intertwined. Let's dissect the first bonus phrase. I'm not a morning person.
I will say it slowly. I am not a morning person.
What is fascinating here is that this is not just a description of feeling tired on one specific day. In English-speaking cultures, claiming to be a morning person or not a morning person is treated as a permanent identity marker. It is a personality trait.
It really is. It's like a label you wear. If a coworker tells me I am not a morning person, they are giving me a social warning.
What are they warning you about?
They are essentially saying, please do not try to have a complicated, cheerful conversation with me before 10 in the morning. I will be grumpy. I will be slow to respond. Please respect my lack of morning energy. It is a permanent status.
Exactly. It defines how they relate to the early hours of the day. Conversely, if someone proudly declares, I am a morning person, they are telling you they are cheerful, highly productive, and full of energy at 6 in the morning.
Which frankly is terrifying to those of us who are not morning people. We tend to view them with suspicion.
It's true.
Now, the second bonus phrase is deeply connected to this cultural idea of morning energy. The phrase is simply, I need coffee.
Let's say it slowly. I need coffee.
I always laugh about this one because in morning conversations, I need coffee is treated as a complete human emotion. It is not just a statement of biological thirst.
It's much deeper than that.
If my partner looks at me in the kitchen and asks, how are you feeling about your big presentation at work today? I might just sigh and respond, I need coffee.
Which means what exactly?
It means my brain cannot process your complex question until I have consumed caffeine. It is a substitute for explaining an actual feeling. It is an acceptable answer to almost any morning question.
It is a universally understood cultural shorthand. It simply means my brain is not yet fully operational.
The third cultural phrase we have is I'm wide awake. I will say it clearly. I am wide awake. Let's contrast this with the word we spent so much time on earlier, groggy.
Yes, they are absolute total opposites. If groggy means your brain is fuzzy, slow, and uncoordinated, wide awake means you are at peak alertness. Your eyes are open wide. Your brain is firing on all cylinders. There's absolutely zero sleepiness left in your nervous system.
Now, you might be wide awake for a good reason, because you had a fantastic 8 hours of sleep.
Hopefully.
Or you might be wide awake at 3 in the morning because you just saw a massive spider run across your ceiling. Either way, the state is the same. Sleep is now completely impossible. You are wide awake.
And our final bonus phrase is a short, simple, but very powerful declaration. I'm ready.
I am ready. 2 words.
Yeah.
But it means you are fully prepared to face the day. Your shoes are tied, your bag is packed, your keys are in your pocket, and your mind is focused. I'm ready.
It is the perfect concluding phrase. It signals the official end of the private morning routine and the beginning of your public daily responsibilities.
And with that phrase, I'm ready, we are ready to bring today's deep dive to a close. Let's take a moment to recap the incredible linguistic journey you just took with us.
We covered a tremendous amount of ground. We started from the very first moment of consciousness. We learned the honest feelings of waking up, admitting we are sleepy, or celebrating being well rested.
We fought the battle with the alarm clock, using the aggressive verb hit for the snooze button, and we explored the psychology of negotiating for just 5 more minutes.
We moved into the bathroom and mastered the spotlight of the present continuous tense, the ing verbs. We learned the subtle difference between mechanically putting on clothes and the overall concept of getting dressed.
We sat down for breakfast and had that major aha moment, the difference between the biology of eating and the experience of having our food.
We checked our internal batteries, learning the wonderfully descriptive, heavy-sounding word, groggy. We learned how taking responsibility means staying up late rather than just going to bed late.
We rushed out the door, dealing with the frantic panic of forgotten keys and phones, using short, sharp sentences.
And finally, we learned how to build a clear, chronological narrative of our own routine, understanding that waking up and getting up are 2 entirely different steps.
That is a massive, impressive amount of practical, everyday English you have just absorbed.
It is a lot of material. And because it is a lot, we must emphasize a very important piece of advice from the source notes. Do not try to learn all of this in one day. Language acquisition is a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely not. Do not try to memorize everything we just talked about. If you do, you will feel overwhelmed. Instead, choose 5 phrases, just 5 simple phrases that apply to your actual life, and try to use them tomorrow morning.
When you silence your phone, say out loud, I hit snooze. When you are standing at the sink, look in the mirror and say, I am brushing my teeth. When you bypass the kitchen, say, I skip breakfast. Small, simple, daily steps.
We also want to encourage you to mentally complete a small homework assignment. Fill in the blanks for your own life story. My name is, I wake up at, I have, for breakfast. Build your personal foundation.
Make the language yours. I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder today. When you learn to describe your daily routine in a new language, you aren't just memorizing a list of vocabulary words from a textbook to pass a test. You are doing something much deeper.
What's that?
You are actively translating your actual life, your real lived human experience, into English.
That is a really profound way to look at it, translating your lived experience.
Think about the psychological impact of that. The way you start your morning sets the emotional tone for your entire day. If you can wake up and immediately begin framing your internal thoughts in English, if you can look at the ceiling and think, time to get up, instead of using your native language, you are taking massive control of your learning process.
That's huge.
If you can start your morning thinking in English, how might that change your confidence when you have to speak English later in the afternoon?
It changes everything. If the very first thought you process in the morning is a successful, correct English sentence, you have already won the day. You have already succeeded before your feet even touch the floor. What an incredible, empowering way to build your confidence.
Exactly. It takes the language out of the classroom and makes it a living, breathing part of your identity.
Well, we hope that tomorrow morning when you wake up and the light is too bright and you are trying to figure out how to navigate the muddy, groggy waters of a brand new day, you will realize you now have a few new, clear tools to help you find your way.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into everyday English.
Stay safe, be kind to yourselves, keep practicing those simple phrases, and most importantly, have a great morning.
We look forward to exploring more practical language with you next time. Keep building those narratives.
Until then, take care and don't forget your keys.